Things just got really exciting in the world of Figma because they just released something called Smart Animate. Look at what you are going to learn how to make in this tutorial. Look at that. Hey everyone, what's up? Gary Simon. So today it's exciting because first of all, I changed up my camera perspective. I pushed it back and I don't know, you can see more of me now. I don't know, maybe you guys wanted to. I just suck. Gary, shut the But no, it's exciting because Adobe XD had their Auto-Animate for quite a while, and a lot of users of Figma wanted something similar, something that would allow them to easily create animations and transitions between different artboards. And now they finally have it. They couldn't call it Auto-Animate, that would be way too obvious, so they called it Smart Animate, and it works pretty much exactly the same way. So I'm going to be showing you how to create that parallax sort of effect. Before we begin though, Linode, the sponsor of this video, makes it easy to host your site, your app, or service on whatever technology stack you use. With one-click apps like WordPress and Drupal, getting up and running is easy. With backend access to your server, customization options are all but limitless. A fully configurable DNS manager allows for you to easily switch your domain over to your new server, and SSL certificates can be installed for free using open source tools. So sign up using the link below to get $20 in credit on your new Linode account. And the main purpose, of course, of doing that is just to show off this new Smart Animate ability, which you wouldn't really have been able to do this prior to Smart Animate anyhow. So here's the thing, if you guys want me to show you how to make this a reality in the browser with web technologies such as HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which is what would be required, then here's what you have to do. I need a like from you, and I need to get to 1,000 likes within 72 hours of uploading this. If I don't make 1,000 likes, then I'm not going to do another tutorial that shows you how to make this a reality in the browser. So if you're watching, give a like. And because trust me, I get like 2,000 views in the course of like 3 or 4 hours. So give a like, leave a comment, share it around, let's get started. All right, so the very first thing you need to do is to figure out obviously the composition. You know, in order for you to have a parallax effect, you have to have layers. So layers would be, it could be layers of photographs on top of each other, cut out with transparency on them. It could be illustrations. As long as there's transparency in them, then you can create the effect where one is moving faster or slower than the other. So I decided I was going to do a kind of like just a wilderness scene, all right? And so I went to unsplash.com, as you see here, and I typed in trees, and I found this example right here, which was perfect because it has a white background. I can very quickly, in Photoshop, which is what we'll be doing, just remove the background, this sky background from the trees. So download that. It's free, of course. And then also, I wanted to have mountains behind it, so we're going to do a little bit of compositing. I searched for mountains, and the one I decided to choose was this one right here. And so we'll just be using part of this image. We'll be using a Photoshop tool that will get rid of all the orange from these, and I'll show you how to do it. So just make sure you download both of those, and after you do that, we can go ahead and hop inside of Photoshop. Oh, but real quickly before we hop into Photoshop, let's get the canvas set up in Figma, and that way we will know the exact dimensions that we can set up then in Photoshop. So we're going to take the artboard tool here. We'll use iPhone X, so we're just going to make this mobile for now. And then we will check it out. So what is this? The width is, so it's 812 by 375. So 375 by 812. We'll hop inside Photoshop, create new. Oh, sorry, it's on the other screen. So it's going to be 812 by 375, hit create. And I do want it to be a little bit larger than that. So I'm just going to go to image size. And of course, it's showing up on my other screen. And I'm just going to change 375, make sure that this is constrained. So if we change the width, it'll change the height as well to 500. In that way, we have a little bit larger resolution images to work with. And that way, if it's scaled up larger on bigger monitors, it won't be so pixelated. Okay, so now what we'll do is import both of those photographs that we downloaded. All right, so let's go ahead and import the mountains first because that's going to be the very background element. So what I'll do is, because this is larger, definitely larger than our canvas here, I'm going to hold Alt, scale up right around there. and then apply it there. And then we'll just put it right around there or so. And we're going to go ahead and fix the trees, but we're going to wait a second. We're going to import the other one, the other download, the trees graphic. So drag that from your desktop or wherever you saved it. And then maybe right around here. And there we go. So first we'll take the, well, you can use the magic wand tool, but there's also the background eraser tool that you can use. But in order to do this, you can see there's this stop sign here. Right click, we can take both of these, hold shift, right click, and rasterize them because they're smart object layers whenever you import it or drag it on from the desktop. So now what we'll do is take the magic eraser tool and left click, and that's not ideal because we could see all that stuff behind it. There's still whiteness behind there. So let's see here. Yeah, so I think we need to turn off contiguous. There we go. So that's a little bit better. It's still not perfect. We can still see a little bit white in here, but I'm not too concerned about that. If you had more time, we can go and fix it up, but for this, it's fine. And then also we will fix up all the orange. We kind of basically just want to desaturate the orange here. And so there's a tool that I found, and I believe it's new, relatively new. It's a color replacement tool. And so we can just increase the size of this sucker way up. And we just get like a color here, alt left click, and then kind of just desaturate them. It's in reality, it's probably going to be up a little bit higher right around there. So let me fix that too and just delete it. All right, good. So I want this to fade off into kind of like a darker color. So we're going to take our background, we'll take the foreground, and we're going to make it somewhere almost black, but not quite. So 141414 for the color code, and then go ahead and we'll paint bucket this in the back here, and then we will use, don't worry, we're almost done with Photoshop here. Create a new layer on top of, let's see, this layer. And then what we'll do is take the rectangular marquee tool and just come out like this, just beneath where it starts, and right around in the halfway section right around there. You know, we don't even have to put this on a separate layer. I guess we will initially. And then we'll take the gradient tool, make sure it is set to foreground to transparent. So take your foreground color to transparent, start at the bottom, hold shift, drag up, and there we go. We've created a nice kind of just gradient that blends all the way down. All right, so the fact that this is kind of high up in the middle right now, it doesn't matter. We can reposition it once we get it into Figma. So at this point, we need to export two graphics. So I'm going to take this layer one in here, which is the gradient that we added in the trees, and we're going to merge those, Control E. And so now we have our two different layers that we have to work with. So we'll go ahead and take both of these, right click, and let's do quick export as PNG, and then you want to save this wherever you're going to save it. All right, so now we have both of these graphics right here, and let's import first the mountain scene. All right, so like right around there, we can position them up and change them here in a second. Where am I at? Oh, wrong one. There we go. And then this layer on top of it. All right, pretty good. So now we just want to make sure, what was that color code? Oh, it doesn't matter, we can eyedrop it. So take the canvas, select it, change the background here, get the eyedropper, and just choose that one right there. So now we have our background matching up with the graphic here. So now what we'll do is, just to make this look like, you know, an actual app that actually has something going for it, we'll take the type tool and we'll call this a nature company, or just comp short. I used a specific font for this, Noble. Okay, let's see here, Nobile. So you guys can use that as well. And then we'll choose medium. And we'll increase the font size. You can just use your up arrow key on the keyboard. Put it right around there. Good white space or so from the left and top. All right, and then we'll go ahead and control mouse wheel to zoom up. We'll get a little hamburger menu going, something simple. That's a good width or so. And then Control D to duplicate it. And then Control D to duplicate it down. Very simple stuff. Okay, so now group those. Make sure there's a good even spacing. Next up, we'll also have a text area for a headline. So I just go from the very left to the very right, and we will center it. And we'll say, preserve nature. I'm going to put these on 2 lines, though. So now we'll increase this quite a bit. Good visual hierarchy, you know, in terms of your type. You don't want people focusing on the logo as much as you do on your message. All right, so right there, it's looking pretty good. Yeah, and I want this to be quite simple, by the way, so I'm not going to be having a lot more content. In fact, all I'm just going to have is just like a line here. Wait, not that. We want a line. There we go. Or the L for shortcut. There we go. Get around the center. Kind of like where the lighter section is. Just make it that long. And let's... Yeah, that's pretty good. Just 1 pixel's fine. Get it centered up if you wish. Duplicate, Control D. Drag this sucker down. And also make this white. So kind of just like this, I don't know, something to direct the eye saying, hey, scroll or drag this thing so you can see this awesome parallax effect. And then finally, we're going to come down here and we will use the Polygon Tool to create the arrow. I'm used to Adobe XD, and the scroll shortcut is Control, not Alt. So that's why I'm like screwing up a little bit there. All right. If you ever run into this issue, by the way, where it doesn't seem like it's really centered up, I think that's pretty center right there. You can always just hold Shift and scale it up, and sometimes that'll get it working better. So now what we'll do is these two are going to be in a group, so Control G. Everything else is pretty good. That's our starting point. So what we'll do now is hit Control D on the artboard, or select the canvas, and initially we want this stuff to animate in. All right, so this is where the new feature of Smart Animate finally comes in to the video. So what we'll do is we'll have this stuff maybe come down from the top. So we're just gonna put it up here. Also, by the way, if you drag it outside, look what happens in the layers. It goes outside of the layer. It won't work. So if you do that, make sure you just take those both and put them back in. And we're going to take the opacity or the opacitor to 0. So now they can't be seen. So it's going to animate. It's going to smart animate based on those 2 elements. The position, because we moved it up, and also the opacity. Then we're going to take, I suppose this one, this as well will come in. So we moved it up holding Shift to make sure it stays on the vertical path, and then 0 pass through. I suppose this as well. Yeah, we'll do the same thing. And then this element, how about we just have it come up that way? There. And that's all. Oh, wait. We'll have these elements too come in. So maybe this comes in down here. We'll also select the mountain. Let's see, where are you at? Layer 11 it's called, so I'm just going to use it down. Oops. No, it's not. It's called that one. There we go. Oh, we don't want to do that. Maybe we'll just come up from the top a little bit. All right, so now a bunch of things are going to animate. So in order to make them smart animate, go to prototype, select this. We're going to drag this over to here. There we go. And then this is going to be after delay. We'll say like a 200 millisecond delay just to get it hit play and then see it load up or whatever. Then we want to change animation to smart animate. with a total of maybe 800 milliseconds. And we can see ease out. That's fine. That'll work. So now hit play. Sometimes this happens because these images are large. So hit R on your keyboard. There. One thing that needs fixed is this. We need to push this down a little bit. So I'll do that. There, that's very cool. So let's go back here, and I'm just going to take this and this, keyboard down arrow key to right around there. It updates automatically, and that's pretty good. So now R. All right, so now let's make this thing actually, draggable. So what we'll do now is, let's see here, we will Control D on this second artboard. And now we want to make some drastic adjustments to this. So first, in order for Parallax to really have a parallax sort of effect, the elements that you're animating need to be animating in different speeds, if you will. So the two primary elements we have here for this effect, outside of the type and these little illustrations here, are the background mountains and also the foreground element of the trees. So we see our mountains are already up here. We're not going to want to move the mountains a lot, but we are going to move the trees quite a bit. So what we'll do is first, I guess we'll work on the foreground elements and getting them out of the way. So we'll take this nature preserve text. We're going to shift it up to make sure it gets back in there, and then go back to design and change the opacity to 0. Next, we'll make this one move just a little bit, and that will be opacity 0 as well. And then we'll take our mountains, and it's going to move maybe just up to here. All right, and we're not doing any opacity. This time it's just going to be a position animation. Then we're going to take this layer 11, and this thing is going to go way up. Oh man, I should not have, let's see here. There we go. Yeah, I wish I didn't make this so, what do you call? Well, that's fine. So long, but that's no big deal. So now, let's see here. I think we'll just go to there or so. All right, so now this element, I think we'll just push it up as well and put 0. And let's give this a test. So we'll go to prototype, and we'll choose, it's already at Smart Animate, ease out. Maybe we'll do like 1800 milliseconds for this one. And instead of on tap, we want on drag. All right. So let's give this a shot here. Look at that. Let's hit R again. So it comes in, we drag down. How cool is that? I still don't like the, I think the parallax effect could be helped a little bit more if, for instance, see, because if you look at the trees and the mountains, they're going at the same rate almost, and that's not helpful. So I think what we'll do, I'm probably going to pause and we're going to edit this real fast. I'm going to edit so there's not so much trees behind us because we don't even need this. Let me go back to here. Maybe I won't pause. I don't need to really. There we go. I got the edited image back in here. So now there's less space. I was able to move the mountains a little bit less. In fact, we could probably take them here and push them down just to, not quite, right there. Nope, you can still see it. There we go. All right, so now let's give this a test here, and let's hit R to reload. That's much better. Drag. Now, of course, when you're dragging, you just drag a tiny bit, and it's just going to keep on going. It's not really drag-based. It's just drag-activated animations. Nonetheless, it's still pretty cool. So now let's add in the foreground information, and the text is just going to be, Nothing too exciting. Let's see here. We'll have strategic. All right, so let's go back to design, make this white, and then left align it. So something like that. Duplicate. Why is it not duplicating? What is going on? Oh, it's duplicating the fill. Okay. Let's get rid of those. Select this, now duplicate. There we go. And then, I don't know, alliance. Okay, strategic alliance. I think that's what I'm using. Okay, so then we'll scale this down quite a bit. I don't know. I'm just screwing around, having fun with type. That looks pretty good. And then we'll finally have, we're gonna use some Lorem Ipsum generator. Good stuff here. Let's see. And where is that? We'll make that. There we go. Scale this down probably like 16. And then where's my Ipsum plugin? We go to plugins, Lorem Ipsum. If you don't have it, manage plugins, and then choose Ipsum, or search for Lorem and just install it. Oops, what am I doing? Where am I going? There we go. Lorem Ipsum. There it is. Generate. All right, so not quite enough. Let's do like 15 here. And then let's increase this section. We'll go ahead and maybe make it not quite white fill. Maybe right around there. Yeah, we're just about done. I think we'll just take this text and give ourselves a little bit more to work with. Regular. That's just on the borderline, not being enough contrast. And there we go. So now we'll take this stuff. See, in order for Smart Animate to work just like Auto-Animate in Adobe Experience Design or Adobe XD, these layers have to exist in the previous artboard from which it's animating from. So we just take all them, Control-C to copy, select on the artboard, Control-V to paste, and this will start down a little bit, and we'll give it a 0%, and there we go. Let's try it out. So let's hit R. I think I wanted to have it animate just a little bit more. So we'll take this, let's hit Control Z a couple times. There we go. So I'm just dragging it down even more so. So R. There we go. So now it's nice and pretty smooth. Very cool. Oh, and also, if you want to reverse it so you can go back and forth, which is, you know, worth doing, we go back to prototype, drag this over here, choose drag, on drag, and maybe we want this one to go a little bit faster, so it doesn't have to be 1800 milliseconds. We can do like 1000 milliseconds or 1 second. What are you doing? There we go. And that's good. So come back, drag down, and then drag up. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Look at that. Awesome. All right, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. You learned something new. It's really exciting having, you know, these big titans like such as Adobe and Figma going at each other, you know, releasing new features in order to compete. And the end users, us being the consumers, we're the ones who benefit. Awesome stuff. So again, if you want me to release the HTML, CSS, and JavaScript portion, another tutorial that will show you how to take what we just made and make it a reality in devices in the browser, give me a like. I need to get to 1,000 likes within 72 hours. Once we do that, then fine, I will do it and I'll upload it within a week or two. All right, see you soon. Goodbye. Things just got really exciting in the world of Figma because things just got really exciting in the world of Adobe. No, damn it. Things just got really excited in the world of. Things just got really excited in the world. Things just got really exciting in the world of Figma because they just released something called Smart Animate. And this is what you are going to learn how to do. Look at